Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 10 huge differences between story mode and Grand Theft Auto Online, and the features that I'd like to see from GTA 5's campaign transferred over into the multiplayer game mode. So as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. If you've played the GTA 5 campaign, it's crazy I have to ask that, but there's actually a lot of people that just jump straight into Grand Theft Auto Online and don't touch the single player. But if you have touched the single player, let me know some features that I maybe didn't mention on this list that you wish were in Grand Theft Auto Online as well. But without the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. All right, at the number one spot, animals. So this is one of the things that I think is missing most from online, because whether it's a dog or a cat or something even more ferocious like a mountain lion, it makes the game feel more alive. And the lack of animals in Grand Theft Auto Online really does make some parts of the world feel more barren. In particular, Blaine County, Sandy Shores, Grapeseed, Palito Bay, Mount Chiliad, places where you would expect like wild animals to be, and it's just absolutely barren. There's nothing really there for the most part. And even in the city, cats and dogs and, birds and whatnot flying overhead. I really do miss stuff like that. So I don't understand what the technical limitations are. From what I've heard, it's near impossible for Rockstar to implement animals into the game because each one of the Grand Theft Auto Online characters would have to see them at the same time. So there might be an issue right there. But animals are super cool, and why they're not in Grand Theft Auto Online, I don't know. I know so many people have been requesting them, and I think that is a really, really great addition to single player that sadly is not in online. Okay, at the number two spot, car physics. So what I mean by car physics is like when you slam into a light pole or you slam into someone else's car, your character getting thrown through the windshield. Now, some people dislike this, but I actually like it. I think it's a really fun challenge. Not only does it make the driving a little bit more realistic, but it also puts an emphasis on doing better driving performance-wise. So like if you crash into something and you're trying to evade the police, instead of just bumping off them, you'd get flown out, making it obviously more likely that you would either get shot or die, or you'd have to then run back to your car and try to get back in while still trying to escape the police. So I think it could add a fun twist to the game as well, and I really loved that feature from single player. It was even better in GTA 4. They dumbed it down a little bit in Grand Theft Auto 5, but for whatever reason, those physics and those mechanics don't transfer over into Grand Theft Auto Online. At the number three spot, random NPC events. So I'm not talking about strangers and freaks or anything like that, but when you're driving down the road and there's like a robbery that goes on, or someone's walking by down the street and someone steals their wallet, and it's up to you to either go after them or to not go after them and not help them. And I really liked that about single player. And the footage you're seeing right now is of like an even more advanced random event with Lacey Jonas, where she's being surrounded by paparazzo and you have to defend her from that. So that's stuff that I really liked, and I still think this could be cool. And I don't know why our individual online characters aren't able to experience these sort of random events, because they're very, very cool from single player. I love the way that Rockstar did it. That's the sort of thing that makes the world feel so much more dynamic to me, and why they chose to not include stuff like that in online is definitely a mystery to me, because they're really fun, they're really spontaneous, and like I said, they make the world feel much more alive and dynamic. All right, at the number four spot, it's the small details of the world. So in particular, I'm going to show you guys this example right here. So it's actually located near the Los Santos Custom Shop towards the airport, and there's these spray paint cans on the ground. Now, keep in mind, if you go here in Grand Theft Auto Online, it is completely barren. You won't see anything. And if you shoot these spray paint cans, they're going to like shoot up into the air, they're going to explode, and they're going to shoot off this like blue mist or blue paint. That's the sort of stuff I'm talking about, and that's what's missing, in my opinion, from online. Just the small details of trash or debris or boxes or things that make it feel like a real-life city. Like, I didn't even know this sort of stuff was in the game, but now that I've noticed it in single player, it's definitely missing from Grand Theft Auto Online, which again is kind of unfortunate because it's stuff like this that makes the game just that much more dynamic, interesting, and super cool. So I'm sure you could find other examples of this, of little tiny details in the game that are not in online. This is just one in particular that has been brought to my attention recently. So if you want to check it out for yourself, you can just go to the Los Santos Custom Shop. You can check out the spray paints there and shoot them if you want. I thought that was something that was really, really cool. At the number five spot, being busted by the police. police. So believe it or not, you might not actually know this, but instead of just getting wasted by the police, you can get busted, which basically happens when I think you have either only 1, maybe 2 stars, but you're passive towards the police when they come up to you. You'll see what's happening right now. Now, in single player, when you're busted, you're taken to a police station. You lose, I think, a little bit of cash and your ammo. Now, I think this could be cool for Grand Theft Auto Online because, as you know, there's a vacant police station in the game that goes unused. So if you become busted, you would maybe be thrown in the jail cell inside of, I guess, the prison, and maybe you would have like a 1 or 2 minute timer where your friends could come rescue you and bust you out. How cool would that sound? So if you're playing in a lobby and all of a sudden your friend calls out, hey, I just got busted by the cops. Can one of you get me out of jail? You then have to rush to the police station, try to break them out. And by doing so, you get like a 4 or 5 star wanted level. It could be a really cool, unique experience. And it would be a great way for Rockstar to utilize the police station that's already in the game that currently serves no use really outside of that one heist mission in Grand Theft Auto Online. So I thought that could be really cool. I'm sure you guys might have fun tweaking some of the ideas that I came up with there, but I still think that would be a great addition to the game. Number 6, and that is the stock market. So the stock market is something I've wanted in online forever. I loved this really cool feature from single player, being able to buy and invest in stocks, sell them, share them, doing things in game that has an impact on what your character gets as far as money goes. Like if you do a certain assassination mission right or wrong, that might impact how you ultimately go about deciding on what stock to buy or sell. And I think that could be a very interesting aspect to Grand Theft Auto Online. So once again, I'm not exactly sure why they haven't implemented it. I'm sure it has something to do with like money glitches or balancing the system or something like that. But either way, I could still see this being a very, very cool addition to the game and to those of us that are savvy enough to use the stock market to make a nice lucrative profit. So that kind of ties in nicely with what I have at the number 7 spot, and that is owning businesses. So we've been able to do this in Grand Theft Auto 5 single player. We were also able to do this in older games like GTA Vice City and even ones in between that. So I think this is an awesome concept. They kind of did it well in single player. I wish there was a little bit more depth to them. And online, they've kind of shifted to owning your own business as far as like the finance and felony stuff. But I wish you could own some of the brands in game. Imagine becoming the CEO of, let's say, the Vanilla Unicorn Club. And for example, in order to keep it running well, you had to do missions for it. So let's say there was a mission where your girls got into trouble or something like that. The dancers at the club, you had to go rescue them. That could maybe be a mission, and in return, it would increase the profitability of your club. Let's say you got paid from that club maybe once a day or once a week or whatever Rockstar would ultimately set it to. And there's a bunch of other examples that you could find regarding stuff like that, like becoming the CEO of Ammunition or Los Santos Custom Shop. And not only would I think this be a cool way to make some money, it would be a great way to keep online going, interacting with friends, but it could also be pretty cool as well. Like you could do some stuff like having discounts and whatnot. Like let's say you were the CEO of Ammunition, you got 1% off everything or 5% off everything. That's just an example right there. But that could be pretty cool. Owning businesses is something I think is really awesome, and I wish Rockstar had incorporated that a little bit more into Grand Theft Auto Online. At the number 8 spot, single player transitions. So you guys know when you load into the game as either Michael or Trevor or Franklin, it's a pretty cool animation and they're always doing something, which is kind of nice. In Grand Theft Auto Online, it just like spawns you on your character, which I guess is cool and efficient, but I wish it would show your character like doing something random or unique or interesting. Like instead of just spawning into the game, maybe driving down the highway or something like that, or parachuting into the location you were, or sitting down at, a place having an E-Cola or a soda or something like that. I don't really know, but just something different than what it is right now. To an extent, when you spawn in your apartment, sometimes you will be like sleeping or taking a shower. That's a little bit more unique, and I think that's pretty cool. But I want to see what happens like in free mode, like when you're out and about, that Rockstar just generates like a random transition for you to do into online. I really like that about story mode. It made it a little bit more like seamless, like the world was actually there existing around me, not that I just spawned in. So I really wish they would maybe consider something like that. At the number 9 spot, big houses. So in online, we're kind of restricted to stilt homes and stilt apartments, and we really don't have big homes. Now, when I mean big homes, it's what Michael owns, what eventually Franklin moves into. I guess you could call them mansions. So although we don't have the technical mansions like you see like the Playboy Mansion or the ones in the Vinewood Hills, Michael's. Michael's house and Franklin's house are the biggest houses we'll pretty much ever get to own in the game. And I wish Rockstar would eventually transition to maybe something like that into Grand Theft Auto Online as well. That would be super, super cool. There's just been so many DLCs that would have been perfect for that theme, so I'm kind of upset that it hasn't happened yet, but that's still pretty cool. Big houses right there. And finally, last but not least, at the number 10 spot, I really like the random police chases that you see with NPCs. So this will happen if you're just driving around the city during the daytime, maybe even perhaps at night, where you'll be minding your own business. All of a sudden, the cops will come out of nowhere and they'll start like driving by and arresting someone. And this could extend to other things as well, maybe other paramedical services, fire trucks and whatnot. It's another feature that just makes the city feel alive. And that just seems to be missing from online. And it's something I really wish Rockstar had ultimately implemented. I'm not sure what the trouble would be putting that in the game. I don't know if there's anything technically disruptive that would cause, but I really think that would be amazing. Once again, it makes the city feel alive and kind of gives the police a purpose as well. But anyways, those are the 10 differences that I've noticed from Grand Theft Auto 5 Story Mode to Grand Theft Auto Online that I would love to see introduced into multiplayer. Let me know what some of your thoughts and opinions are in the comments section down below. What would you like to see added from single player to online? If you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, where I like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.